right. Hi, Paul Slatkus. I'm speaking to Dr. Marvin Bittinger. Hi, Doctor. How are you?
I'm just fine. How are you today?
All right, good. I got a baseball ebook written right after your name. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
We're going to talk a little bit about baseball. Step Up to the Plate, a new ebook, changes the game of hitting instruction. Okay, that's interesting. A lot of playoffs. San Francisco won last night. The Yankees didn't win a couple weeks ago. Why baseball?
And my favorite team, the Reds, didn't make it.
Oh, there you go, Cincinnati man.
Uh-huh.
Where are you? Are you in Cincinnati?
No, I'm in Indianapolis. But I wrote this book and co-authored it with Dusty Baker, who's the Reds manager.
Right. Okay. And so, are you an avid baseball enthusiast?
Oh yes, I really am. Yeah, I'm. My main profession is writing mathematics textbooks, which seems kind of bizarre, but I really use my writing skills to help Dusty Baker and another fellow here, Jeff Mercer, put this book together on hitting. In a sense, we're all educators, and so anyway, it worked. It seems kind of bizarre, but it worked.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it seems to me that mathematics are very important in hitting.
Well, if you get into this book and read it, you'll find a lot of places where these ball players are thinking about math in that dugout. You know, if they get another hit, what does that do? If they do this, that, or the other, what statistic does it change? And Dusty, has one theory that if it's kind of late in the season and you're having trouble, it's okay to get what he calls a non-at-bat. And that doesn't affect your batting average. So you gain by not letting it go down if you're having trouble.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk about hitting, okay? So you get up to the plate. Every man has a different, and woman has a different stance, has a different height, has a different weight. They have a different bat. How does somebody know, let's take it not from the professional level right now.
Yeah.
Let's take it from somebody wanting to hit the ball at home plate. What do you do?
We have outlined in the book what's called a systematic approach to hitting, and it's sort of a step-by-step process you go through that you can start teaching children at age 6 and still would apply to advanced hitters. But I would take a batter and have him put a bat down, presuming it was the right kind of bat, put it down in the middle of the plate, and then line up where the knob of the bat is, and have your feet lined up with your shoulders, pretty much, and have a little flex in your knees, and keep that flex and sort of keep the weight on the balls of your feet. Now, the kids, in terms of bat selection, which you've done before you get in the dugout or in the batting box. If you take a bat and hold it out parallel to the ground from your shoulder, and you can hold it out there for about 10 seconds, then it's probably an okay bat. But if a kid has it out there and he starts wavering and the bat's dropping, then you know that bat's too heavy. Well, kids go for bright and colorful and even heavy bats, to somehow think they look better and more able to their fellow players. But you want a bat that works for you. And if you get that bat too heavy, it's going to drop the barrel of the bat back, and you're going to hit more pop-ups, and you're going to be slower to the ball. So it's important to make a good bat selection, and that's part of our process.
Okay. So what else? I'm doing this interview, I'll be frank with you, Doctor, because of my 6-year-old grandson, okay? And we play baseball. I owe him now 246 innings left out of 250, because the last time I had to run to catch the train, and I said, all right, next time we'll play 250 innings. So I'm up to 246 this weekend. So,
well, that's great of you to spend that kind of time with him. Do either of you have an iPad?
I'm sorry?
Do either of you have an iPad?
The home has one, yes.
Yeah, well, you can go to iTunes and get this book put into the iPad, and once it's in there, you can take it with you to the batting cage or to the backyard or to the dugout. And it is called Dusty Baker's Hitting Handbook, and there's a website to go to get samples. And
what is that website?
Who is it published with?
No, the website.
Oh, the website is hittinghandbook.com.
Hitting, one more time,
hittinghandbook.com. Now, there's no space between the two words.
Okay, right.
HITTINGHANDBZOOK.
Beautiful, okay. So, and we have pictures in the book?
Well, the neat thing about it, it's an enhanced ebook. And the neat thing about that is if you like to read, there's 330 pages of reading in the book, but maybe you just like to listen for whatever reason. The entire book is audio recorded. So you could read the words, you could press a button and have the book read to you. And there's lots of charts and photographs and illustrations, but the neat thing is there are also these icons you can press and see videos where Dusty or Jeff Mercer give instruction to youngsters and older players about how to hit. So it brings everything to life. And we talked about bat selection a little bit ago. Well, some of the discussion I gave you would be there in the written word, and it would be there audio-wise, and then there's a couple of videos there that show you how to get a bat and in your hand. Another thing that you want to do is the grip on the bat. The grip is very much like a golf grip, where you have the bat out in your fingers and align the knuckles of your hands together. And by doing that, you have much more bat speed. It's a tendency for people, like, if I handed you a broom handle, just to grab it like you're going to choke it, and that's not a good grip for the average hitter, because the bat goes slower, you get more loop in your swing, and it presents lots of difficulties. Now, another topic we addressed in there is box and bat angle. I'll simplify it here for the sake of doing this on the radio, but the one thing you don't want to teach your child to do is to raise that back elbow. Now, if you watch on TV, you're going to see tons of major league hitters with that back elbow up. But I'll never forget sitting and listening to Dusty and a former major leaguer named Bill North talk about this, and it puts a loop in your swing. And the natural, uninformed parent who's trying to do a good job has the child put that elbow up. But if you watch people hit, they have to bring that elbow down when they do the swing. So that would be something I would caution you about.
How about eye on the ball?
Eye on the ball, we call it eye tracking. And that's part of the systematic approach to hitting. And when you're standing there getting ready for a swing, your eyes have to go someplace. And we encourage the players to maybe put their eyes on the eye of the pitcher, or look at his nose or the bill of the cap, but to fix on a certain place. And then if you're in the batter's box and you're watching, you'll figure out you should learn where the ball comes out of the pitcher's hand, and learn to move your eye from there to the ball. The longer you can get your eye on that ball, the better your chances are of hitting it. And so that's real important. And we talk quite a bit about that in there, and there's some drills you can do for that also.
Give me a drill, because maybe this is good for a young person, because I would be frank. I used to be afraid.
Yeah, well, we talk about fear of the ball.
There was a big this is going back to Dad's Club,
Sure, and a lot of kids are.
It scared me because, it was always like there was this one guy, he must have been like 6 feet at about 8 years old, and he had a sidearm pitch. And I swear to God, like nobody wanted to get up to him.
Yeah.
So how do you get the...
Well, first of all, you try to reason with a child about the fact that, how many times do you drive somewhere or you walk to school or whatever and you don't get hurt? Their chances of getting hurt are very slim.
Uh-huh.
And you would never tell a kid that the whole season would go by and that he wouldn't get hit, but your chances of getting hit are very unlikely.
Okay.
And then in the book, we teach a proper way of getting out of way of the ball. And if you're a right-handed batter, you want to turn your back so the number faces the pitcher, and the bat goes down on the ground toward the catcher. And you do two things like that. If you have to get hit, the back, the small of the back is a safer place, or your butt, to get hit. And then you want to get that bat out of the way. The pitcher kind be so wild as to hit the bat, and then you get a foul ball strike, which you don't want. So
interesting.
So we go through those kind of routines in there. There's quite a bit on that in there. And I have taken a child out and taken tennis balls and said, I'm going to try to hit you with these. Now you know that if I hit you with a tennis ball, you're not going to get hurt.
Right.
And then just sort of mix up some throws and throw some normal way, but then throw some that you're trying to hit him with, and have him tell him you want him to get out of the way, and he'll be amazed at how often he can get out of the way, actually. So.
That's an interesting.
But some, I would admit that some players just can never get over fear of the ball. When I coached a 13-year-old team one time, we had a boy on there, and no matter where that pitch went, he bailed out, jumped out of the box. And some of them just can't get over it, but at least we try to provide some techniques to help you with it. Now,
and the swing. The swing. When you swing the ball, if you're not swinging for let's say you're swinging for a home run, is there something different you do than whether you're swinging for a single?
Well, if you're a big kid and you're inclined toward hitting for power, the first thing Dusty would say to you is teach the kid to hit properly. Forget about hitting for power until you learn how to do a proper swing. Then you might do things to get more power. In fact, you might go to that choke grip and see what kind of a ball player you are. You might go for a different kind of bat or whatever. But if you haven't taught them the fundamentals of hitting, you should forget about trying to hit home runs until you get that down. And something else we're big on, especially for younger kids, is don't teach the kids to take pitches. If it's a bad pitch, take it. But if you've got a first pitch coming in and it's a good pitch, swing at it. You can't, you take a weaker kid who you're trying to teach to hit, and then you tell him to hold up and try to draw walks, he never learns to hit. He's got to swing the ball. And, everybody likes to win. You like to win those championships. But think back on your life, how important was it that you got that championship or lost it or got it at 12 years old now in your life, So you want to learn to hit. Does that help?
It helps a lot. You have some good information here. Thank you very much. I'm looking at the website here. You have 335 pages of reading, 4 hours of video, and 10 hours of audio. Oh my! Is that how long it takes to read 335 pages?
Well, yes. Whatever I said. What did I say? 4 hours of audio. Yeah, to read the entire book.
4 hours of video and 10 hours of audio.
Yeah, that's right. It takes 10 hours to read that whole book. I don't think anybody's going to sit there and go through the whole thing at once.
I like baseball. I love sports, and it's a wonderful thing, and a great. We didn't talk about all the good benefits of the health and, in essence, then thusly the wealth of team sports and playing together and all those beautiful aspects of the game. That's very important as well, Doctor.
Yeah. Well. When you're teaching to play as a team, you're teaching about your life after baseball in a business world. And or as a teacher or whatever, you're often working with a team of people, and the better your camaraderie and the better you get along, the better you are in some other phase of life, as well as on a baseball team. And something I always teach these kids is you never, ever show your anger at a player who has failed. There's so much failure in baseball anyway. And you need to be patient with your fellow ball players, because I'll promise you as a player that you're going to make a mistake too, or you're going to strike out or pop up at a key time. And you foster no team spirit when you abuse people verbally about failure.
I agree. Two more. I always say, tell me if you think this is a good line. The greatest, the most fantastic baseball player only hits 1 out of every 3 times he's at bat.
Yeah, that's right, if he's lucky.
If he's lucky.
Yeah. And that gets to another part of the book. We have 3 chapters at the end of the book. It's more for the advanced hitter. I would say high school, college, minor league baseball, and professional baseball. And there's a lot covered in there about failure and being positive. And Dusty is a wonderful human being. He's a strong believer in positive thinking. And, if you strike out once, you just wipe it out and get ready for the next time at the plate. But it's hard, if that gets to you, it'll affect you, and you just got to erase it. Kevin Mitchell, who played for the Mets, when they won that championship from Boston, he said he just, every time he fails at the plate, he just goes back to the dugout and he thanks God, hey, I've got another chance. Thank you, God. I got another chance to go to that plate again, and I'm going to get that pitcher the next time. So you just have to have that kind of viewpoint.
Good stuff. All right, Doctor, congratulations. Last question. What's good news for the doctor here?
What's good news?
Yes, sir.
Well, the good news is getting this book done, I think, in my life, and just enjoying the way it looks. And I love to show it to people on the iPad, where you can, I have them look at the reading, and then I press the buttons and the audio, and it's just, I think, good news for me when they react so positively to it.
Beautiful. All right, congratulations.
All right, thank you for having us on.
Yeah, no, it's good. Thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
I just emailed my daughter to pick it up for the iPhone, and we'll take a look at it this weekend.
Okay. It's just available for iPad. You can't use this on the iPhone.
Okay, iPad. All right. No problem. They're loaded with all that junk.
Okay,
no,
good.
No, that good stuff. It's all good.
All right.
Beautiful. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, Doctor. Bye-bye.